Have you ever finished a conversation and felt a strange weight in your chest? You just spent 10 minutes defending a decision that was yours to make. You explained why you didn't go to that party, why you're starting a new business, or even why you chose to spend your Sunday alone. You spoke fast, your heart rate went up, and you looked for a nod of approval in the other person's eyes. But instead of feeling understood, you felt small. You felt like a child reporting to a parent. This is the explanation trap, and it is a quiet epidemic, especially among men who feel they have to justify their existence to everyone around them. We were taught that being a good man means being reasonable, and being reasonable means giving everyone a reason for everything we do. But here is the cold truth. The more you explain yourself, the less people respect you. Every time you over-explain, you are subtly telling the world that you don't trust your own judgment. You are handing over the keys to your life and asking others to tell you if you're heading in the right direction. The prison of approval. Why do we feel the need to justify every move? It starts with fear. Not the fear of physical danger, but the fear of being misunderstood or judged. We have been conditioned to believe that if someone is confused or unhappy with our choices, it is our job to fix it. We think that if we just find the right words, the other person will finally say, "Oh, I get it now. You're right." But here's what's actually happening. When you explain yourself to someone who didn't ask or doesn't deserve it, you are putting them in a position of authority over you. You are essentially saying, "I have made a choice, but it's not valid until you approve of the logic behind it." This is a submissive act. It signals to the world that your boundaries are up for negotiation. Think about the people you respect most. Do they spend their time making sure everyone is okay with their schedule? No, they make a move, and the world adjusts. Respect isn't built on words, it's built on the weight of your actions. When you strip away the explanations, you leave behind something much more powerful: certainty. People are drawn to certainty like moths to a flame, and they are repelled by the nervous energy of someone who is constantly trying to clear things up. The science of perception. There is a psychological phenomenon that most people never notice. The more you speak, the more likely you are to say something that lowers your value. In communication theory, there is a concept of high status versus low status signaling. High status individuals use fewer words. They move slower. They allow silences to hang in the air without feeling the urge to fill them. Low status individuals, on the other hand, are reactive. They react to the silence. They react to the raised eyebrow. They react to the unasked question. When you over-explain, you are in a state of reaction. You are chasing the other person's comfort. Carl Jung once spoke about the persona, the mask we wear to be accepted by society. For many, that mask is the nice guy or the reliable man. You think that by explaining yourself, you are maintaining that mask. But behind that mask, your true self is suffocating. You are trading your vital energy for a moment of social peace. And the worst part? It doesn't even work. People don't respect the person who explains everything. They use them. They know that to get what they want from you, all they have to do is look slightly confused or disappointed, and you will start talking until you give in. The power of no, without a because. The foundation of a respected life is a no that stands on its own. Most people say, "No, I can't do that because I'm really busy with work, and my car is in the shop," and stop. Everything after the word because is an invitation for the other person to solve your problem so they can get what they want. If you say you're busy, they'll say, "It'll only take 5 minutes." If you say your car is broken, they'll say, "I'll pick you up." When you give a reason, you give them a handle to pull on. But when you simply say, "I'm not going to be able to make it," or "That doesn't work for me," you offer no handles. It is a closed door. At first, this will feel incredibly uncomfortable. You will feel a wave of guilt. You will see the other person waiting for the explanation that usually follows. This is the moment where most men fail. They feel the tension and they break. They start talking to ease the awkwardness. But if you can sit in that silence for just 5 seconds, the dynamic shifts. The other person realizes that the matter is not up for debate. This is where respect is born, in the refusal to be moved. Implementing the strategy of silence. So, how do you actually start doing this in your daily life? It's not about being a jerk or being cold. It's about being contained. Start with small things. When someone asks why you didn't answer a text immediately, don't give a laundry list of your busy day. Just say, "I was away from my phone." That's it. When a boss or a friend asks why you're changing your mind about something, you can say, "I've thought it over," and decided on a different path. You must realize that your reasons are private property. You wouldn't hand a stranger the keys to your house, so why do you hand them the keys to your decision-making process? Your why belongs to you. By keeping it to yourself, you build an aura of mystery. People begin to realize that you are driven by an internal compass, not by external pressure. This is what Jung meant by individuation, becoming a person who is whole and independent. A whole person doesn't need to mirror the world to feel safe. They are their own center of gravity. When you stop explaining, you stop being a moon that reflects someone else's sun. You become the sun, dealing with the backlash. Here is the warning. When you stop explaining yourself, people will get angry. The people who have benefited from your availability and your reasonableness will be the first to complain. They will call you difficult, arrogant, or weird. They might say, "You've changed." Listen carefully. This is a sign of success. They aren't upset because you're doing something wrong. They're upset because the old emergency button they used to press is no longer working. They used to be able to guilt-trip you into an explanation, and now they can't. Their anger is actually a form of recognition. They are recognizing that they no longer have power over your mind. You must be willing to be the bad guy in someone else's story to be the hero of your own. If you are afraid of being misunderstood, you will always be a slave. The moment you become okay with people having a wrong opinion of you, you become dangerous to the system. You become free. The respect of the sovereign. There is a difference between a man who is loud and a man who is heavy. A loud man explains his greatness, explains his moves, and explains his mistakes. A heavy man simply exists. When you walk into a room and you aren't looking to justify your presence, your weight is felt. When you make a mistake and you say, "I handled that poorly, I'll fix it," without a 20-minute story about why you were tired or stressed, you show extreme strength. You take full ownership. Ownership is the ultimate form of respect. Explaining is a way of shifting blame. I did this because of that. Ownership is saying, "I did this, period." As you move through your week, try this. The 24-hour silence challenge. For the next 24 hours, do not offer a single reason for any of your personal choices. If someone asks why you're eating that, why you're going there, or why you said no, just give the shortest answer possible. Watch their reaction. More importantly, watch your own. Notice how your internal energy stays inside your body instead of leaking out through your mouth. The rebirth of the self. We are living in a world that wants you to be transparent. Social media wants you to post your thoughts, your location, and your reasons for everything. The system wants you to be a data point that is easy to predict, but a man who does not explain himself cannot be predicted. He cannot be easily manipulated because his triggers are hidden. He is a mystery. And in human history, we have always worshipped the mystery. By reclaiming your silence, you are reclaiming your soul. You are telling the universe that your life is not a trial, where you are the defendant. You are the judge, the jury, and the executioner of your own fate. If this message hit home, it's because a part of you is tired of apologizing for being alive. You are tired of the mental exhaustion that comes with trying to keep everyone happy. It's time to stop. It's time to withdraw that energy and pour it back into your own goals, your own health, and your own mind. The world doesn't need more reasonable men who follow every rule and explain every move. The world needs men who are grounded, men who are sovereign, and men who have the courage to say nothing at all. So, I ask you, Are you ready to let the silence do the talking? Are you ready to be the man who moves without permission? If you're ready to take your power back, leave a comment below that says, "I own my reasons." Let it be a contract with yourself. Stop talking. Start doing. And watch as the respect you've been chasing finally catches up to you. I'll see you in the next one.